All right. It's day 38. It's late as all hell. And it's arm day. So, in terms of overall fatigue, it's not going to be that bad. Should be a pretty crazy pump. Same as normal. So, full day of eating. Everybody's been asking for it. I have yet to do it. I was going to do it today, but Tuesday's one of my days off. So I got up, did my cardio, ate some food, and then I went back to bed. And then I got up, ate some more food, went back to bed. Just the whole day. It was great. So, feeling well rested and very full. I've been doing the 6,000 calorie diet, consisting of you probably only need about a gram of protein per pound of body weight, but I've always kind of pushed it up a little higher. So this morning, weight dropped a little. I was at 248, but around 250, I'm still doing like 300 grams of protein. I'd rather go over than under, but I'd say a gram per pound of body weight is a number that you should definitely hit every day. Like, that will actually correlate to your progress. Your fats, for me, it'll kind of bounce around between maybe 100 and 200. Just kind of depends on what sort of food I ate. And then carbs, man, carbs have been getting up there, up in like the 800 gram range, just from whatever source I can get my hands on, right? Rice or ramen or varieties of other sweets and sugars and juices. At the end of the day, carbs are carbs for the most part. Now, I wouldn't recommend you go out and make your whole diet consist of fucking candy, but you will still reach the same level of caloric intake, right? But you're definitely going to want to eat more, eat the majority of your carbs from a more complex source, right? Like, wheats or grains. What am I saying? Grains or, whatever. You get the idea. Oatmeals. Oats are probably the best. Oats and sweet potatoes. So if you don't know what to eat, if you can get some of those in, you're probably going to be good. But I'll get more in depth onto the diet when I actually do the full day of eating. So, and finish this pre, and then we can get in there for arms. Should be fucking empty right now. So probably just gonna start off with the same single arm push downs like normal. Going overhand, like where you're doing them like this, you can actually load up a good amount of weight, right? But if you go backhand, it's just not going to be as effective of a movement, right? Like, doing stuff like this is better for later in the lift when you're already pumped to hell. You're just trying to hit it in a different angle. So I'll probably do a few more warm-up sets and then actually start loading up some weight. So part of the reason for doing just a single arm reps is that this stack is too light. Like, if I just use the regular bar, it's just not going to be enough weight. So I'll usually start off with the single arm stuff now, just so that, once I already finish maybe 3 sets of these, I'll be fatigued enough where the stack will actually be all right for double arm stuff. So in terms of training to failure, your heavier sets are going to be the ones where that's easiest to achieve, right? Because if you can physically only do 10 reps, you'll know when you can't do another one. But if you're doing more of like a burnout set, or you're pushing closer to like 25 reps, that's a little bit more mental, because you could get to 20 and you'll be feeling a pretty good burn, and you might throw the weight down and say that's a good set, but you may have had even 10 more reps in the tank. So in that sense, that's why I kind of like doing a lot of sets with heavier weight, just because it's easier to make sure that you actually win all out on them, or at least close to it. So you just got interested in lifting. You're watching Larry Wheels training videos. You're watching Chris Bumstead training videos, and you can't decide whether or not you want to be a power lifter or a bodybuilder, right? You can't decide if you want to do hypertrophy training or purely strength training. Now, I don't want to influence your life, but I tell you, more often than not, I hear about power lifters saying they want to transition to bodybuilding after a while, and never the opposite. So do with that information what you will. Once you've chosen bodybuilding, hypertrophy as your training goal, do not for one stinking second think to yourself, all right, well, I'm untrained, I don't have a lot of muscle, I guess I should do a cut, I guess I should diet down so I can see what I've got underneath. You are a fool, and you're seeking instant gratification. And I say this in the most persuasive way possible, that is just going to keep you from your goals, which is, being muscular. Now, the extent to which you want to take that, that's up to you. But going directly into a dieting phase before you've even started your training, that is absolutely stupid. For any beginner, a proper bulk, considering that you're not, muscularly developed yet, doing a real bulk, that's gonna be stupid. All you should really do as a beginner for I'd probably describe the first year of training, is just make sure you hit your protein goal and eat at least maintenance calories. You can look up online your maintenance calorie calculator and figure out how much food you should eat. But unless you're peeled, shredded, untrained, and you don't naturally have that big of an appetite, extra eating in the beginning of your training is probably not going to do you that good, right? I would probably, you can do whatever you want, but I'd say that for the first year, just main gaining, right? Just getting exposed to the weights, eating your protein, not necessarily doing a hard bulk. If you do that, you're going to gain muscle, and then you'll build at least a baseline. And I'd say after about a year, maybe a year and a half at the earliest, of just normal lifting, not trying to do a real bulk or a real cut, then you'll have built up enough of a baseline where actually doing a real bulk, or vice versa, dieting down a little bit, will actually merit results. That's 6 sets of triceps done. No drop sets or anything fancy. It was just the straight sets. So gonna change it up a little. Thinking I'll go for at least a set or two of heavy rope instantly supersetted with well, I mean, probably the same weight with the straight bar, but the straight bar is going to be a lot easier. It's a little bit more of a I don't know, if you've been to the gym, you know that it's easier to push more weight with the bar than the rope. It's 9 sets of triceps done. I'm just gonna finish off with 2 more sets of those single arm ones. But this time I'll throw in a little extra something. So I'll do normal heavy set, 10 or so reps with the overhand. Use that, you can actually really load up weight. And if you want to try it, well, actually no, you should try it. I'm telling you to do it. But it could be a little wobbly. So one thing to try to focus on while you're doing it is just keep your arm like tight up against your body. Because if you're way out here and you have a good amount of weight on, it's just gonna end up being a little wobbly. This is gonna start shaking. So just keep your arm tight to your body, you'll be good. Then I'll drop the weight in half and do some backhand stuff. Yeah. All right, let's get some biceps going. Well, at this point, you guys should be fairly accustomed with this little corner of my gym, because we're gonna stay here for the beginning of biceps as well. Usually I start off with dumbbell curls. That's kind of been my go-to, but in the spirit of changing it up, right? Today I think I'll start off with some heavy single arm cable curls. Whew. Jesus Christ. I think that's the heaviest I've ever gone on cable curls. Yeah. Gonna do a couple sets of dumbbell now. Already warmed up. I'm going heavy on the cables. So I don't know what weight I can actually do right now. Part of me wants to grab the 60s, but then my ego is telling me to hit the 75s. And part of me believes I can still do it. I'm not actually that fatigued yet. All right, fuck it. 75s. Let's try not to. Another little trick you could do if you overestimate your strength. So let's say I, for whatever reason, only got 4 reps with 75s. Obviously, that's not a whole set. That's not a full working set. So, you know, I throw the weight down, then just jump right into a drop set with a lighter weight. Do another 10 or so reps, you know, actually make the set worth something. Right? If you overestimate your strength and you just throw the weight down, you just threw away a set for no reason. I kind of like setting up this little contraption for like cable curls so that you sit down. But I don't really like doing this movement on its own. It's it's a pretty constrained system, so you can't really swing the weight, can't go crazy heavy. So I do like this as like a superset. So I'll go do a set of easy bar curls first as like a pre-fatigue, and then I'll come here where I can really focus on a good contraction and use a little bit lighter weight. So 4 more sets of biceps left. I kind of like doing a little bit of a dumbbell curl variation. This will definitely help you be able to focus on contracting your bicep. So you go a bit lighter than your regular working set. Like if I were to do another working set of bis right now, I'd probably grab the 60s for like 10. So instead I'll do the 40s. So a little more than half. But what you do is it's the same as normal, but instead of just going straight to the top on either arm, you go about halfway, pause the weight for just a moment, and then you actually try to finish the rep. So halfway, pause, and then the action of moving from that pause state upward should really help you be able to feel your bicep contracting. And if you can't, then just try to imagine like pulling your hand to your shoulder, because that's the action that you're doing. And you can do this with any muscle group. I love doing this on leg extensions. Go a little bit lighter, halfway up, finish the rep, halfway up, finish the rep. I don't really do it for triceps though, so you kind of have to go by feel. But I'll get a set of these in, and then I'll see what's next. Going cross body like that for the lighter curls, it'll kind of work this little muscle on the outside of your bicep. It's called the brachialis, if you want to get all technical about it. But I'd at least throw a little bit of that in every so often. Cute little drop set. All right. So last set. Thinking I'll just do like mini sets of 5 reps each, alternating. Probably start at like a heavy weight for maybe, 3 or 4 little rotations each. Then drop the weight and do another 3 or 4. Really just pump the shit out of the biceps. And then go check the pump, which should be rather gnarly. All right, let's get the exposure down a little bit. Oh, oh my goodness. So, no finger contact possible with the fucking shoulders. That's typically the best all-around sign that you've got a good arm pump. But let's see if it correlates. Oh. All right. Whew. Oh, jeez. Just go a little. Holy shit. Whew. Oh. Whew. Oh yeah. So it got a little complicated with arms towards the end, throwing in the all of those freaking like cable curls, a little bit of drop sets. But I mean, triceps, I only did 2 movements. It was just those single arm push downs and then the rope of the straight bar. And so I guess 3, but whatever. Close enough. Holy shit. Ugh. I can't even get into a proper side tricep. Christ. So, people have been getting curious about what I'm doing for calves. So, instead of just saying I'm going to do it, let's actually go see what the hell goes down. So all I end up doing is I pop a squat here. Usually I'm on my phone because I'm just playing around or like scrolling TikTok or whatever else. But just set the weight, I mean, reasonably heavy. Like enough where 20 reps is feeling like decently hard. I'm not sitting here going like to death to failure every rep. For calves, I think it's just more important to get a lot of volume over time, right? So a bit of daily stimulus. It's almost not as, I don't know, whatever. But either way, just sit here, throw some weight on. I like doing single leg. I kind of feel like I always bias my right calf when I do double leg. So, plus single leg makes it easier to feel the contraction. I feel like that's the case for almost all exercises. So, 8 sets of these post-workout every day. Shit'll build your calves. So, you could go light and slow, where you hold it at the top for a second, then you go back down, hold it at the top for a second. I don't know. For me, doing quick reps with calves, heavy, I always end up getting a crazy pump So I don't like to overcomplicate it. I'd rather just sit here, do the straight set, repeat it, and then, as we'll see in a moment, looks like shit's working. So this is actually pretty good timing. My fucking phone's about to die. But yeah, I mean, just 8 sets, nothing special, no drop set. I've never really had too much of a problem with getting the calves pumped up. So, oh yeah. Woo! Got the 2 little separations and everything. Well, it's the end of day 38. Let's go to the car. Whew. Chest complete. Wait, what the fuck am I saying? Arms complete. Oh, Jesus. Fucking starting to lose it. Arm day. A lot of people say they don't like it, which, I mean, I can understand. It does get a little bit repetitive. I don't know. I don't really feel that way. You know, I don't get tired of this shit. So, post-workout, gonna grab my freaking carb shake with the dextrose. I'm not gonna explain this shit every time. You guys should get you should get a grasp on it after, you know, a few times hearing about it. But dextrose is the simplest carbohydrate that you can find. It's just straight up, it's like the same shit that's in your muscles, glycogen, right? Just straight up glucose. And if you have that post-workout, about 50 grams with some protein as well, then you're instantly gonna have an insulin spike. I will see you next time. Oh.